Tony, thanks for joining us.
That's right.
Definitely not the result you were after, but probably not the performance either.
No. It was a terrible performance, really. We just had a good chat in there, and it was just one of them. It was just a bad day at the office, but it turned into a terrible night at the office. I was struggling to think of many positives to come out of it. I mean, we have had some positives, but it just was when you look around the team and think about who played well, who done their job correctly. I'm struggling to think of more than maybe one, maybe two. It was just really bad, and I just thought that we got out battled. They were more physical than us. They got second balls. It just looked like they had a desire to win, and we didn't. We looked quite passive. We looked like we were just content to let them boss the game and do what they wanted, and we didn't really lay a glove on them, to be honest. And that's another disappointing thing is that we never really. They tried hard. I mean, I'm not knocking. They did try, but there was no. There was no. They never looked in trouble. They never looked like they was under pressure. They never looked in trouble in the game. And even when we were chasing the game second half, and we did try. We changed the formation, and the boys did try. They run around, but you never ever felt that we had a goal in us tonight. And I think that was a problem. And I shouted out with about 20 to go. Let's just try and get one. And just see if we can ask the question, but it never ever really looked like coming. And to be fair, I give credit to Tunbridge Wells. They done what they needed to do. They got a lot of older, experienced heads in the side, and they managed the game perfectly from their point of view. And we need to learn some harsh lessons from that.
We seem to be really struggling up front at the moment. We spoke to Dane on Saturday, and he said there was maybe a lack of confidence. Would you agree with that?
Well, maybe, but forwards are there to score goals, and one thing you must never do is lose that heart and that desire to get in positions. And if you look at the best forwards, and I'm not comparing these people to your Haalands and people like that, but you have to, because if you look at them, they'll miss a chance and then they'll get back straight in the same place and they'll try and score the next one or the next one, and they'll just keep going. And that's the real difference for me. And I look at their second goal, and I've just highlighted that in there, is that they turned the ball over, they've put a ball across the face of our box, and who wanted to get on the end of it was their centre forward, Trevor McCready. And I'll be honest with you, if you put Trevor McCready in our team, then I think we win the game, because he holds it up, he wins your fouls, and when the ball gets put into the right area, he wants to get on the end of it, right? And he's got a desire to get on the end of it, and we've got to start having that hunger to get on the end of football, on the end of balls coming into the box. At the moment, we're just too easy to play against from a defensive point of view, and that needs to change.
One of the things that's very noticeable is how quiet we are as a team compared to our opposition. Are you seeing enough from your leaders in that team?
Well, look, I think we've got to hold our hands up today, because we made 3 changes and we took Dave Martin, Toller and Wale out. I mean, they're our 3 oldest players. It's very difficult to expect them to play Saturday, Tuesday. You've got to try and rest them. We knew what Tunbridge Wells were going to be like, but we just felt if we had some younger legs in there with a little bit more mobility, it might cause them problems. So that was the thinking behind it. And we're taking them 3 guys out. They're 3 men. They're 3 big characters, and I think we missed them in the team. And in answer to your question is, no, we need to learn from Tunbridge Wells tonight. They don't have one person appealing for something; the whole team appeals for it. They're a team. They want it, even when they haven't. It's never a free kick. They're appealing for it. They're very vocal, and we're very quiet. We're very quiet, and we need to learn to help ourselves, and that's the thing. Unless we start helping ourselves out more, and you don't have to be a good player to give good information. Anybody can do that. We've all got a mouth. and they need to start using it and be more vocal and helping. But you're absolutely right. We are very quiet side, and it needs to change.
How do we shake ourselves out of this little blip that we're on at the moment?
You have to just keep working hard. You have to keep, I'll be honest with you, just sitting there, we've got to go back to basics. We've got to absolutely go back to basics. We've got to go back to the first game against Lyd, and we've got to first of all be really hard to beat, and then we take it from there. Because at the moment I look at the game, Nick, and to be honest with you, they've won 2-0, and I think that's their only 2 shots on target. And the first one's a penalty, which I don't care if it's a penalty, it's not a penalty. The fact is, if you're waving your leg at a player and he goes over, the referee's got a decision to make. But not only that, we've given away a free kick, and we've all switched off. I mean, we've absolutely switched off. They've had a free pass to somebody in our, right outside of our goal in a penalty box, and we've made the foul. And to be honest, I know this is going to seem a bit pathetic saying this now, but for the first sort of, before, I don't know, it was 5 minutes, whatever it was before they scored their goal, but we looked quite controlled, we looked quite comfortable. Theo was getting in, we was looking all right, and the minute they scored that goal, you could see our body language, our heads went down. There was no kind of there was no reaction from it apart from a negative reaction, and they need to start shaking that off. We've gone behind now, and anyone can see it. We've gone behind, and we've not won a game from being behind yet. We've come back and we've drawn a couple, but we need to start, coming back and winning some games from those positions. And at the minute, it's you're wondering where it's going to come from. But like I say, the only way you can do it is to go back to basics and work hard and keep trying to do the right things. There's nothing else you can do. The only other thing you can do is go and get different players. Unfortunately, with us, we're not really in a great, we're not one of them clubs that can just lose players and get players in. That's just not where we are. So we have to work hard with the players that we got, and we'll try our best. But there will come a time where, obviously, if this carries on for too much longer, then it starts to become an issue. At the moment, it's not an issue, but too many more games like that, it could become an issue, and we will need to deal with it one way or the other. So yeah.
Nice long trip to Deal up next.
Yeah.
Is there going to be some changes, do you think, in that one, or are you going to try and keep it the same? And
we're going to look. Listen, there'll be a few changes from tonight. I think we're going to need to go down there, and it's all you need, isn't it? A trip down to Deal, on a Saturday afternoon after that. But like I said to him earlier, these are the games that you should be looking forward to. You're going to go down. There's going to be a few hundred people. It's going to be a bit of an atmosphere. It's going to be good, But whereas really players should be going down there relishing the challenge and wanting to shut them up, to be honest with you, and stick it up like we did last year. The era from Belvedere, and I don't like saying what we did last year, but it kind of is. It's when you go down there and you're listening to it and you beat them, there's no better feeling than that. And so that's what we need to get into the boys, is that that's a challenge in itself, to go down there to perform, and there's nothing better than walking off the pitch when you've been getting grief for 90 minutes and you've got a result. Yeah. And they need to want to experience that and want to do that. And that's the thing I want to see off of them, is that real sort of grit and determination and willing to, blood, sweat and tears for the cause, really. And that's what I want to see. And if they do that and we get beat by the better team, then who cares? But tonight I just feel like that was lacking, and that for me is really inexcusable, because I don't care how good you are. There's no, you don't have to be a good player to give 100% and to want to die for the cause. And they wanted it, and we kind of didn't look like we did.
Well, let's hope we see that blood, sweat and tears on Saturday. Yeah. Cheers for your time, Tony.
No worries, more of the blood and the sweat and less of the tears,
yeah.
But it is what it is. No, cheers, Nick. Thank you.